Yo, what's up? What's up? It's your boy OMD 300, and this is the Corner Store Podcast. Very impromptu podcast today. Um, I started today's podcast to ask a question to the YouTube audience, or the YouTube, my members, subscribers, and whoever else might see this live stream. Did you guys see the roast of Kevin Hart the other day on Netflix? I actually don't have Netflix. So I've only been seeing bits and pieces of it. And from what I understand, there is a huge controversy, deservedly so controversy, from comedian Tony Hedgecliffe mentioning a well, not mentioning, but saying a George Floyd joke that was very in bad taste. And also during the Kevin Hart roast, a surprise visit from Cat Williams, who had a great set talking about Kevin Hart. And Kevin Hart, obviously, um, he laughed at the jokes and they roasted him. And but you could tell that he had a lot of tension. Kevin had a lot of tension with Cat Williams being on that stage. I don't know how much these guys made, and I'm probably going to find out by asking Google. Sometimes they do have how much each person was paid. The panel consisted of Tony Hedgecliffe, what's that boy name? Pete Davidson. Who else was there? I think there were some athletes there too. I know Kevin was there, obviously. Chelsea Handler, Regina Hall, who's a real good friend of Cat Hart, Kevin Hart. I don't know why I said Cat Hart. My bad, y'all. Uh, Regina Hall was looking so goddamn good. I'm gonna tell you something right now. Regina Hall don't have to have no makeup on. She could be at home with one of them big ass bag hats that sisters be wearing now. I don't know what they call them, bonnets or whatever. Wearing some fucking bunny slippers and a house coat, and I'd still be in love with her. I love me some Regina Hall. She is absolutely fine without even trying. The woman doesn't have to wear any makeup. I would love her for the rest of her life. Yeah, unless she's a jerk, obviously, but looking absolutely stunning. I don't think I've ever seen when she gets herself all dolled up. She is beautiful beyond compel. I mean, and there's some. I'm not a big fan of Sanaa Lathan. Obviously, these women can all look real good when they get dolled up or whatever, but there's something about Regina Hall that just I don't know. It's just something about her. I loved her ever since I saw her in Loving Basketball playing Sanai's older sister. If y'all seen that movie, and a lot of people probably have. But I'm not a Tony Hedgecliffe fan. Hedgecliffe fan. I don't like that gay motherfucker, and I don't say that gay part to bash gays, but it's just it's so funny that somebody like him who is obviously homosexual has so much to say about liberals and all of this stuff like that. He should be way more open minded. Now look, it's a roast. First off, the people who are there to roast Kevin Hart, they're open game. They can be roasted. Uh, Kevin Hart, the main character in the roast, he can be roasted. But when you start bringing up shit about George Floyd and making it racial, that shit is uncalled for. It's bullshit. And several people were there very uncomfortable. Regina Hall wasn't feeling that shit at all. She didn't like that shit at all. And I understand why. If I was there, that's the reason why I haven't made it in this, in media or in this business or whatever you want to call it, and got to a point where I could be, doing an event like that, or at least be there. Because even if I was in the audience, I was like, man, I would have stood up and said, shut your bitch ass up. And they would have probably escorted me out if he said that joke. And of course, it would have been a whole big thing about, oh, well, it's comedy, it's comedy. Corey Holcomb on the 5150 show said, oh, Hedgecliff, man, it's comedy, man. You're supposed to be risque. They're falling on that bullshit sword all the time, talking about because it's comedy, it's fair game to be not politically correct. I don't want you to be politically correct. I want you to have some taste. I want you to have some decorum. You can say all kind of jokes about the guy that's there, talk about his height, his all that shit. But man, when you got to say some shit about George Floyd or black people in general, I draw the line there, bro. I draw the line there. You can talk about people's penis size, all that bullshit, even their sexuality. But when you talk about somebody who was absolutely murdered on camera right in front of all of our fucking eyes, and the guy who did it ended up eventually going to some type of jail and getting his ass stabbed up in prison behind it, it's some subjects you don't fucking broach. You know what I'm saying? It was in bad taste. Talk about Kevin. Talk about him. Go so far as to even talk about his kids because it's about him. But I don't know, man. This comedy shit, the life in general and things in general, topics in general, the way people kick it in general is under attack. People are using, in one sense, people will use that as an excuse to be bitch ass motherfuckers and say some underhanded shit and then like throw a rock and hide your hand after you broke the motherfucking person's window when they know you're the only one standing on the sidewalk. You know what I'm saying? All in all, I got a chance to see the roast, and not its entirety, but pretty much the whole, damn near the whole show. And I would just say Kevin Hart, though he was the person being roasted, he wasn't comfortable at all. And I guess there's a certain amount of uncomfortability you're gonna have being the person that's being roasted, i.e., when Donald Trump got roasted, when Charlie Sheen got roasted, when Justin Bieber got roasted. I can understand that there's you're not going to be that comfortable because they're talking about Tom Brady was really not happy when they said a lot of things about his past relationship with Giselle. But Giselle Bundchen deserved to be dogged out. I mean, the bitch, you're married to Tom Brady. If you didn't like bro, you shouldn't have been with him that long and had that many kids with him. But that just show you, and no disrespect to women as a whole, because not all of y'all are the same. But there are a lot of pieces of shit women out there representing you guys that have money and they have status and have the ability to travel around the world and choose different men and all that. What's going on? Why these women can't stay with one dude? The dude, most women think Tom Brady is off the chart. Bro got money. He done won Super Bowls. He's quintessentially the example of what so-called white male America is. But he can't even keep a wife. He can't even keep his wife from cheating on him. So at this point, marriage is bullshit. It is. If Tom Brady can't keep his wife from cheating, nobody can. Nobody can. It's obviously something going on or something in the water to where these women can't, you know what I'm saying? As far as I'm concerned, if you have money, if you're a millionaires or a millionaire, it seems like to me you have too many choices. I know I'm going from one subject to the other in regards to talking about Tom Cruise in retrospect. I'm not Tom Cruise, Tom Brady in retrospect. My mind is tripping today. But the roast the other day was just in poor taste. Some of the things that were said, especially by these so-called the Kill Tony. My nephew's on the live stream. He mentioned Kill Tony is fun. Kill Tony is whack. I watched it. It's trash, bro. It's trash. Kill Tony ain't good. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these, it's certain shows that shouldn't see the light of day and shouldn't. There's certain people who shouldn't be popular, who shouldn't have a platform. To me, I think obviously highly of my platform and what I'm trying to build here. And I don't say, and believe me, I don't say all the right things all the time. There's probably somebody who's going to look at some of my content and say, man, I heard what you said about such and try to cancel me. I don't give a fuck. But I don't go after people to demigrate them or talk about them. I may say Zionists are full of shit. I think Zionism is a, remember, Jews are not a race of people. It's a religious belief, Judaism. It's not a race. Just like homosexuality is not a race of people, it's a sexual preference. Women desire women, men desire men. That is a sexual preference. It's not a race of people. There are races of people that are homosexual, and because their sexuality has been taboo or is taboo to certain people, their rights have been taken away, or they've been targeted for physical violence, or even targeted at for not getting jobs. So they banded together and formed a coalition to fight against that. And somehow that morphed into them thinking that they're a race of people and they should have gay rights. No, you should have rights as a gay person to live like everyone else and be able to be gay, in some cases flamboyantly gay, because there are some situations all of us have been in where you see a real flamboyant gay person come into a room or a restaurant and they're just really wildly acting like a female when they're a gigantic 6 foot tall, 6'5" man wearing some type outfit, i.e. Magic Johnson's son, who is really flamboyantly gay. And you have the right to be that. Nobody ain't never said that. Nobody ain't said nothing about that. But see, there's a certain amount of decorum people should have in public. You have the right to be you. But you also got to realize if you're going to be out there flamboyantly gay, throwing around a sash and acting like a big gigantic female, some people are not going to like that shit. They just not. And you got to be able to take the good with the bad. If you want to live your life open and out, which is your right, and nobody is ever going to say that you can't do that, there are going to be people who are not going to like it, and they're just going to have something to say about it. And, to be honest with you, as long as they don't put their hands on you, they can cuss you out, call you out. That's their right. Think about it. Think about it. But see, we living in a world where people want to live in these bubbles, but also not have any vitriol for living in the bubble. They do. They want to have this vitriol when someone calls them out on their bullshit. It's not, the double standards can't work no more. Women can't say, oh, well, I want equal pay. Uh, these actors well, I call them, women don't even want to be called actresses because they believe it gives an indication of male, female, like actor, actress. To me, that's the biggest bullshit I've ever heard. Yes, you're a woman. You should be called an actress. Men are actors, but they've cut that out, and now everybody's an actor without any female or male condemnation on the end of it. Okay. Now they're talking about, well, there's a disparage. There's this disparage between the pay of stars. Everybody know goddamn well, if you've ever been on a film set or in a movie, which I have, and I've been on the cast list before, people at the top of the cast list, the star, the co-stars, and all that, the pay scale is different. The movie is budgeted that way. So if you get, a woman thinks, certain actors think because they're on the poster with the main star that they're supposed to make just as much money as that star. That's not how the shit work, bro. Now, are there women out there who should be making more money? Yeah. We could talk about that till we blue in the face. Jessica Chastain did a movie called Old Dark 30 back in the day, where she played the CIA operative that helped get Osama bin Laden assassinated. Jessica Chastain made millions of dollars for that film. Then you have Taraji P. Henson, who's been in a gang of movies as a star or a major co-star, who will make a third of what that woman makes. A third. There's pay disparity in that. Black and white women don't get paid the same in the film industry. They don't. Black and white men don't get paid the same in the film industry. They don't. That's just a fact. Perfect example. The first Iron Man film, Robert Downey Jr. made like $10 million or some shit for that first movie. One of his co-stars, I forget his name. What's old boy name that played in Hustle and Flow? I always forget his name. Anyway, he was playing Rhodey, the guy who would eventually become War Machine. Well, the pay disparity between Robert Downey Jr. and him was so high, he asked for a pay raise in Iron Man 2, where they subsequently said, no, we're going to give you the same money you got from the last film. I didn't think that was right, especially since Robert Downey Jr. went from like maybe $10 million the first film to $25 million in the second one. And Rhodey's part in the second film, if you watch Terrence Howard, thank you so much, bro. Terrence Howard. I don't know why I can't remember Terrence Howard's name. Every time I think about him when I do a live stream or a pod, they replaced him with Don Cheadle, and everybody knows Don Cheadle has been playing Colonel Rhodes ever since, and he's War Machine now. And if you saw the second Iron Man film, War Machine's character or Colonel Rhodes' character was very prevalent in that movie. So it made sense for Terrence Howard to say, you know what, man, if I'm gonna be doing all this, I need more money. He's like, you can't pay me this amount and from the that don't even make any sense. You know what I'm saying? The role had expanded quite a bit in the second film, where War Machine gets his suit and he helps Tony fight Whiplash and the droids at the end of the film. He should have got more for that. Well, they subsequently took that role from him and gave it to Don Cheadle. And I understand why Don Cheadle took the role. It's fucking work. It's work. And come to find out, they ended up giving Don Cheadle a little bit more. I guess what they were saying, they were just so upset at the fact that of how Terrence Howard came to them and said, "Look, man, I think you need to pay me more." He wasn't delicate when he came to him. He wasn't trying to kiss their ass when he came to ask them to give him more money. He was very, very adamant about it. So subsequently, he ended up losing the role. Uh, Negus Freeman's in the live stream. He says, "Imagine how good Armor Wars would have been with Terrence Howard. I think it would have been amazing. I think the reason why Armored Wars never ever actually manifested or was produced, and they ended up just going with the Ironheart because Ironheart or whatever that shit is that they made with the young lady is now the new Iron Man. She's the new Iron Man, and she's going to be in the new Doomsday, and she's going to be in Secret Wars when they go to Battle World. Now, I'm actually going to tell you something that now that we're on the subject of Marvel films, and I'll stay with you on there for a second. I think Doomsday is going to be quite overrated, my opinion. I don't think it's going to be that good for two reasons. One, where they're going with the timeline things, as far as like the different timelines, where they're trying to set all this up with the Deadpool and the Wolverine movie, and also with the Loki TV series, where they're going with all this timelines and different time dimensions and all that, and they're bringing Tony back as not Tony Stark, but now he's Victor Von Doom from Latvia because of this timeline thing and all that. I think that's horse shit. That's horse fucking shit. Horse shit. I don't know who's writing this stuff, and I don't know why they think they know better than the people who are going to be coming to pay to watch these films. But these stories, these scripts that you guys are writing are fucking garbage. You want to bring back Robert Downey Jr., bring back Iron Man. Bring back Iron Man. That's what you should have done. The first mistake the MCU made, the Marvel Cinematic Universe made, what's happening, bro? How you doing? Sincere Austin in the building. Shout out to Brooklyn, New York. Thank you for being here, bro. Shout out to Negus Freeman, a.k.a. Chris Davis, Atlanta, Georgia. He's probably not in Atlanta right now. He's probably on the move, sitting somewhere waiting for a load to be dropped off. If not, hopefully you chilling and having a good time. Shout out to I don't know old girl's real name, or if she's even a real person anyway, the Vidal Sassoon chick or whatever, Clementine, I don't know. Shout out to everybody on the live stream right now. We got 4 people in the live. Please do me the biggest honor in hitting that thumbs up. And if you haven't become a member or subscribe to the channel, please do so uh, ASAP, and also hit the thumbs up and the notification bell. To be honest with you, let me read what he just said. He said, "Remember the scene from the end game where he was in the elevator with Colonel Stark, and he referenced his son's birthday. You talking about with his dad? You was talking about with his dad. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know there was supposed to be another. Yeah, I don't like it, Chris. You can't explain it away for me, bro. I don't fucking like the way they're going. I don't. And here's what I mean by that. I don't like it, bro. I don't. I don't like the direction that the MCU's going. They're fucking weird. They're whack. Whoever's writing this shit, and they need to stop having all these bullshit guest directors. If you going what you do, what if they should have did this at the beginning? Let me tell you what they should have done. This is my opinion. Whether people agree with it or not is a moot point. I don't give a shit. People are paying hard earned money to go see. This is why I stream all the time, because people are paying hard earned money to go see these films, and a lot of people are happy with it because it's live action and you get to see and blah 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 and how they create it. That's all well and good, but if you make a good story, and also in addition to the bringing these characters to life, people are gonna love you. This shit will go down in infamy, i.e., the Lord of the Rings. Let me tell you something. Peter Jackson will never. The only thing Peter Jackson ever fucked up on was King Kong. He should have never made King Kong. He fucked up when he made King Kong. That tarnished his legacy somewhat. But Peter Jackson in the Lord of the Rings saga, he didn't fuck up at all because he stayed true to the material. If you stay true to the material, you will have the greatest love from the fans. I promise you. Because fuck the people who don't read comic books. Fuck them. I'm going to be real with you. Those are novice fans of this genre. They'll watch anything. If you bring, let me put it to you, someone who doesn't know comic books, if you make a comic book film strictly from the storyboards of the comics itself, the person who's a novice and doesn't know nothing about this, they're going to love it anyway. Because you're bringing this shit to the screen. Oh, wow, they're going to be asking questions like, who's that? What's this? What's that? That's all they're going to do. And they're going to be like, damn, that looks good. Wow, I didn't know he had those powers, blah, blah, blah. They're going to be introduced to the characters for the first time. But people who know these characters, when they go to see an MCU movie and it's not strictly from the pages of comic books, we're not fans of that shit. At least me. I don't know about any other comic book aficionado, and I'm not super efficient with comics. I'd be lying if I said I knew everything and I've seen every comic. And there are people who are 1,000 trillion times not more knowledgeable in comic books than I am. But I'm gonna tell you right now, the biggest mistake the MCU had, and that's the reason why I hate that people like corporations like Disney ended up purchasing or absorbing these companies, because the wrong people are in charge of the creative process. The wrong people are in charge of the creative process. Because all they had to do when they made Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire was very, 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 very close to the depiction of Spider-Man in the comics. Really, really close, with the Uncle Ben and him being killed. With great power comes, man, I swear to God, when I saw that movie, it was like watching a comic book come to life. And that's all I've ever wanted to see in regards to comic book movies. That's it. That's it. When the first Iron Man film came out, and that was Jon Favreau. For those who don't know who Jon Favreau is, he's an actor slash director. He plays Happy, the guy who's assistant to Tony Stark in the Marvel MCU and the Marvel films. He directed the first. Actually, he directed the first Daredevil too with Ben Affleck, which was horrible. So I didn't really think when I heard that he was directing Iron Man, I was like, I don't know. because I wasn't a big fan of the Ben Affleck Daredevil film with that big forehead ass woman playing Elektra. I can't stand Jennifer Garner. I hate her fucking guts. She's terrible to me. And not a very attractive woman with that big ass robot ass forehead. I'm not a fan. So when they said that Jon Favreau was going to do Iron Man, I was on the fence. After going to see Iron Man, though, after seeing Iron Man, I was like, okay. And Robert Downey Jr. was a great cast to play Tony Stark. Great casting. When I heard about him being cast at that role, I was like, man, that dude. And I knew about Tony Stark being a funny dude, just like Downey Jr. plays him with the funny quips and saying the little silly things. The same thing with Ryan Reynolds being Deadpool. That was a great casting because these guys are those characters in real life if they ever had those powers. I'm sorry, they are. Never was a fan of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine though. Since we're on the superhero subject, that was terrible. When I heard Russell Crowe originally was going to play Wolverine in the first X-Men film that Fox produced, I was on board with that because I could see. Remember, a lot of people don't realize uh, he's a what's the fucking guy's name I just mentioned? Wolverine. Blah, 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 blah. What is the fuck? Goddamn, I just lost it that quick. Anyway, he's too tall. Wolverine is a short motherfucker. If you know anything about the comics, dude is about 6 feet, maybe shorter. He's a little guy. He's not a big guy at all. Sabretooth, his so-called half brother, on the other hand, is a big motherfucker. He's like 6'6", 6'7", easy. And that's why he would always call Wolverine when he fought him in the comics, little man. He would call him, hey, little man, blah, blah, blah. I know comics, bro. I ain't great, but I know comics. And they fucked up. They fucked up. You have to stop casting these fucking people because of their fame. Stop casting these people because, oh, he's a good looking dude. And man, you got to cast these characters. When they picked old boy to play Thor, great casting. He's perfect. Perfect. When they picked Chadwick Boseman to play Black Panther, perfect. Great. Great. That's how you cast. They picked Halle Berry to play Storm. You fucked up. You fucked up. It's not a popularity contest, man. This shit's gonna work when you pick the right people that look the part and can play the part. I always said originally when they were casting for the X-Men film back in the day, it's been over 20 years now since that movie came out. When they cast for that film, I don't know if you guys remember Iman, David Bowie's wife, who's a supermodel, Iman. She's West African and she's over 6 feet tall, and her name is Aurora. Her real name in the comic book, Storm's real name is Aurora Moreau or something to that effect. And she's from Africa, and she got her powers is the powers of obviously weather manipulation and flight and all that shit. And she's also a telepath as well. She doesn't read minds per se, but she can do. A lot of people don't know Storm's power. She's a very powerful. She's like a third tier, fourth tier level mutant, which is really high. She's a bad motherfucker. But when they chose Halle Berry, I knew it was a fucking popularity contest. Hugh Jackman is not Wolverine to me. Hugh Jackman could have been a whole bunch of other superheroes. Wolverine shouldn't have been one of them. I'm so fucking dead serious. If I ever get an opportunity, if God was to see fit to make me the caster or a showrunner for one of these films, anything that I'm going to produce or help produce, I'm going to use one director for every one of those films. One. We got to have one vision for that particular genre. I'll give you an example. Say they say to me, we want you to create the Defiant Ones. The leader of the Defiant Ones is a very unknown Marvel hero who's black, and his name is Night Thrasher. If they gave me that, if they gave me the Night Thrasher franchise to, and obviously it depends on budget. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if you give me a low budget to do anything in film, if you give me a low budget to do anything in movies, I am going to cast nothing but unknown actors. You ain't gonna know none of them. And if they come to me, well, we need one person that's known, that you motherfuckers are under budgeting. Either you give me a bigger budget. I'm casting all newcomers. All newcomers. And guess what? I guarantee you the fucking show's gonna be off the hinges. You know why? Because I'm gonna stick to the fucking script, bro. I'm gonna grab every defiant one. I'm gonna grab every man. That shit. What do you say? X-Men was the first. What the fuck you expect? What do you mean? What do I expect? That shit was trash, man. It was garbage. It could have been you know what? I'm gonna tell you straight up, bro. It could have been way better. It could have been way better. Obviously, you feel like this stuff was good, and that's your opinion. That's good. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible. It was watchable. At the end of the first X-Men movie, I was like, I was very underwhelmed. I was very underwhelmed. They made the girl who played Rogue. I know that actor. She was the one that was in True Blood. Bad casting. She should have been Rogue. Rogue was never, ever, ever that weak and that frail and that scary. Get her out of here. No. No. Halle Berry? No. Get her out of here. The guy who played Cyclops, that was a decent casting. You know, and he's the reason why it was a decent casting, guess what? They're using him again, the same dude. There's going to be a new Wolverine. There's going to be a new Storm. They understand that these people, the director literally banned X-Men comics from the set. That's fucking stupid. If you know all of this inside stuff before these films came out, weird as hell. Now I see where you're going with this, Chris. You're exactly right. I'm telling you, bro, I know what I'm talking about. I promise you. You know I love comics. You know this. And I know we could be talking about this on my comic book content show, but we're talking about films and we're talking about the Kevin Hart roast. We're talking about entertainment as a whole at this point on Corner Store Podcast today. So that's the reason why I'm going in like this. And I'm talking about fantasy films in general. Now, I'm going to prove what I mean by what I'm about to say right now. Did you guys already hear that Disney, and not only that, the Lucas Films is trying to buy back the rights from Disney for the Star Wars franchises, Star Wars period. He's trying to buy that shit back. And Disney understands the assignment. They are scrapping all of the J.J. Abrams prequel films with that chick Rey, and all of those movies were fucking garbage. The Last Jedi, all that shit was trash. Hence, this is why The Mandalorian and Grogu is such a big deal coming up May 22nd. Because they're going to try to keep the same aesthetic Star Wars. The best, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know how many people are Star Wars fans that's going to be on the live stream, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I was in line waiting 6-7 hours. J.J. Abrams is a trash director. Now, let me tell you why. He became Spielberg's boy when he gave him the assignment to do that damn movie about the alien that was trapped on the train. The American military supposedly had, I forget the name of the goddamn movie, and it was trying to get off the planet. And that ended up being such a big film at the time that he became the new Hollywood's new it boy. And another thing, I will give JJ Super 8. There you go, bro. Super 8. That's the reason why you're on here, dog. I love you. Super 8 turned out to be a pretty decent film. It was okay. The next thing that they gave him was the Star Trek reboot. I will admit this, and this is the reason why I know Hollywood is stupid. J.J. Abrams did a great fucking job on the Star Trek reboot. I love the story. I love the way they brought back Spock, and now it's two Spocks in one dimension, or in one. You know what I'm saying? And it was dimensionally, and I get it. I know. I see what they were doing, and even in the second one, when they had the rap, basically the second one was the Wrath of Khan, basically. Uh, yeah, Super 8 wasn't that bad. It wasn't great. On a scale of 1 to 10, it was like a 6.5. It was tolerable. I didn't pay to go see it at the theater, so that's a big plus. But Super 8 wasn't horrible, but he became Hollywood's darling at the time. And then they gave him the Star Trek franchise, which I wouldn't say he hit it out the park, but on a scale of 1 to 10, it was like a 7.5. I love Star Trek. I'm sorry, Star Trek. I like the fact that they rebooted Captain Kirk, where they got old boy to play him, and they got Jeremy Sisko, the guy from Heroes, to play Spock. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because me and my homeboy Will and some other cats used to really be into that show Heroes on NBC back in the day with Hayden Panettiere and a bunch of other people. Heroes was a great fucking show that came out of nowhere, and the guy I'm talking about who ended up playing Spock in the new Star Trek franchise. We always thought because of that motherfucker's eyebrows and the way he looked that if they ever did a reboot of Star Trek, he would be perfect as Spock. And this is way before the movie came out. Way we was when it finally came uh time for people to know about the new Star Trek that was coming out, and J.J. Abrams was directing it, and they said he was cast as Spock. We were all tripping, like, man, we said that shit some years ago. We used to watch old boy on Heroes, so that was kind of cool. It ended up being okay, but then one thing about Hollywood, when they get a franchise they get a film or something that works, they're gonna beat that horse to death. They're gonna beat that horse to death, man. They're gonna keep using bro for every fucking thing. Direct this, direct that, give them this, give them that. And they don't have the same vision for everything, bro. I'm telling you. Lucas is trying to get back Star Wars, and they want to scrap all those films that were made, and I'm all for it. The only thing that was good about any of those movies, I like Adam Driver playing Kylo Ren. I liked him as Kylo Ren. A lot of people did not like him as Kylo Ren. I thought he was dope as Kylo Ren. I saw that character is really the son of Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia, and Han Solo becoming a Jedi, being trained by Luke, and then going to the dark side. That story is nasty. I like that. That shit was nasty. If they would have stayed in the wavelength of what it was supposed to be, it could have been a great franchise. But they wanted to introduce this woman, and there's a narrative behind women in film these days, and wanting to show them as strong individuals. It's like they're pushing that narrative because I guess women feel like they're always shown as such weaklings, and there's another narrative I believe that they're doing in Hollywood too, is trying to show men as super vulnerable and kind of girlish, almost. Like, perfect example, anybody that knows Marvel comics, they understand who Vision is. Vision, the android that was created, and a lot of people don't realize this. In the story of how Vision was created in the MCU, that's not how he was created in the comic books. Vision was created by Ultron, just like in the movie, but not in the way that he was created in the comics. And he was obviously supposed to be used against humanity, just like he was going to be used in the MCU, and he was changed and da da da, and he ended up working for, the Avengers. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. If they would have stayed true, if they would have stayed true to the aesthetic, Wonder Man was okay. I see where they're going with this. I see where they're going. you didn't really get to see who he was until the last episode. That's another thing too. They need to have more. They need to have more superhero shit in these movies. They need to have more superhero stuff in these films. These shows and these movies are fucking boring. I just watched the Punisher short film introducing him back to the world. That shit was dope as fuck. Whoever and I think what's his name? The head guy of MCU right now was the one who directed it. I just saw that shit the other day, man. It was dope, man. It was dope, man. That damn Punisher movie, John Barenthal, that motherfucker's the Punisher, bro. That motherfucker is the Punisher. Now, I see you, Wonder Man, and see, you know what? I bet you $5. I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. I'm gonna bet you $5. They gonna make him underwhelming because Wonder Man can fight uh Captain Marvel. And see, another thing I didn't like about Captain Marvel, Captain Marvel wasn't no woman at first. Captain Marvel was a man, and he ended up getting killed, and his wife took over the mantle of Captain Marvel. They should have went with that story, but instead they went with the story about her being a pilot and and the whole thing and blah blah blah. But they changed these narratives. Now Wonder Man is just as powerful, if not as powerful, as Captain Marvel, as well as that girl. What's the girl who was on the Wanda Vision movie? Monica Rambeau's daughter ended up becoming what is her name? God, I don't remember her superhero name. God, I can't think of it, but she's just as powerful as Captain Marvel as well. I hate the fact I hated what they did in Ant Man with that ghost character. That ghost character in the comics, yeah, binary. I think that if it's binary, I don't think it's binary. I think she had another name. No, it's not binary. It's another name. Fuck. God, I would Google it, but yeah, I would Google it, but that's not it. And I know a Miss. It's not Miss Marvel. Oh, it is Miss Marvel. That's exactly who she is. Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and then that girl, the Indian girl. Her name is Marvel Girl or something to that effect or something like that. But yeah, she has a light power ability as well that she got from that shield when she phased in from that shield. But in the comic books, her powers, Monica Rambeau's powers came to her totally different. But that's neither here nor there because they're not going to go in the comics. Now, did you guys see the Daredevil Born Again season? Man, I was so disappointed in that shit. I don't know what to do. There were some cool fight scenes in it, and then they brought back Jessica Jones. Um, they also brought back Luke Cage for whatever reason at the end. It seems in the Marvel MCU, Jessica Jones and Luke Cage has a daughter, and obviously she's going to end up having powers or something eventually. But Jessica Jones in the MCU, she doesn't want to fly for some reason, and she has the ability of flight, and her super strength is way. She's like Jessica Jones is actually a badass bitch, and they took her powers down, way down. I mean, she is not powerful at all, and I don't know, man. These movies, man, they just whack, man. They just whack, and these shows are whack. The Born, I like old boy who plays Kingpin. I've always liked him. He's a great actor. He played Kingpin super great. I like the dude who plays Daredevil. I like his character, but they made him soft as a baby's ass in this show. Soft as a baby's ass in this show. They did, man. Though the psychological doctor, they're setting up something though that a lot of people don't see coming. It's gonna be great. She's not. I don't know why they're making her seem like she's gonna be Muse, because Muse fucked her up so bad that she's losing her mind now after he choked her and had her, was cutting her with a knife and choking her, but she's lost her mind now. That woman, the psychiatrist who fell in love with Daredevil for a time, she's supposed to end up she's supposed to end up becoming Typhoid Mary. Typhoid Mary is she's going to end up with split personalities. She'll be the doctor sometimes, and then that other personality will come out. And Typhoid Mary is an absolute psychopath. She ends up working for the Kingpin to kill Daredevil. Well, in the stupid ass Disney show, Disney Plus show, they have her wearing at the end of the Born Again series. Not only is Daredevil going to prison for supposedly killing all of these officers or whatever in the show, she is supposedly wearing the Muse mask at the end of the series. We don't know what direction they're going in. She's supposed to end up being Typhoid Mary. And if you don't know who Typhoid Mary is, just go ahead and Google it. They'll tell you she's a Daredevil enemy or a villain in Daredevil, and she is absolutely fucking crazy and great. If they were to go in that direction, that would be so awesome, bro. I'm telling you, that's the reason why I would love to be the person to show run some of these shows or even these films. I would cast it absolutely perfectly. I would let the stories that are already there, that have been there for hundreds of years through these comics, and those and their storyboard at all. You could shoot it just like it is in the comic books if you wanted to. I don't understand why they don't go. Typhoid Mary is a major character. She is Typhoon or Typhoid or whatever the fuck they call her. You're absolutely correct. And you saw the setup. If you watch the Born Again series, you see the setup. I saw it in the season beforehand. The one before, well, they had season two of Born Again. It's season two of Born Again. The first season of Born Again, they had Muse in it. And Muse is a great fucking character. It was actually not bad. Born Again season one wasn't bad. I liked it. I was like, I wasn't blown away, but I liked it a lot. I was like, okay, I see you. I see you. And Muse, and they had Muse in there, beautiful, bro. Muse in there, beautiful. And he got killed. And I think Muse dies in the comics too, I think, but I'm not sure. I don't remember. But even if that wasn't the case, if you wanted to do it the way you did in the MCU, it was real cool. And I understand why that woman would be so affected by Muse having him be a client of hers and she not knowing that he was Muse all the time when she was talking to him, during their sessions. And when he finally revealed himself to her, he fucked her up, man. He fucked her up real good mentally. And I could understand why she would end up becoming Typhoid Mary. I get it. I get it. But they're not going to go in that direction by what they showed on season two's finale. And if they don't do it that way, that is a huge fucking mistake. A huge, huge, huge mistake, bro. I'm telling you. We need to really, really, really start saying something as fans in the blogs, through emails to the film company, which I'm sure other people do. A lot of people are like, man, it ain't that serious to me, man. I don't give a fuck. Whatever them motherfuckers make, if I watch it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. But some people really want that material to be. If you're gonna make this stuff, don't waste millions of dollars. This is millions of dollars you could be helping whatever city you're shooting a movie in, helping the homeless. I mean, they waste a lot of fucking money on these shows, and then they turn out being lousy. To spin back to the topic at the beginning of the podcast, the Kevin Hart roast, they spent several $1 million on that roast, giving these participants money to come and do their jokes or whatever. They paid a whole comedy writing team to write these fucking whack ass jokes about George Floyd and all this different shit. So nobody screened that shit. That was a waste of money. Netflix wasted a shitload of money during that roast, and it was fucking horrible. There were some good moments, but how many people do you know want to spend $10 million for good moments? We want a good show. That means from the beginning to the end, that shit should be good. We're not in the business of wasting money, man. We're not in the business. I'm not. This is coming from a motherfucker that's trying to make ends meet, and the fucking ends are 10 million miles away from each other. So why shouldn't we hold our lives and how we have to live and what we can afford in very high regard? Why can't the film industry, the music industry, and any other industry do the same fucking thing and make quality? We try to make our lives quality with the bullshit money that we get. Why shouldn't they with the huge budgets that they get? You know why? Because they don't really give a fuck what you think. Some of these fucking shows and films that they create might just be tax fucking write-offs. We don't know. They might have a budget every year for making all their projects. Let's just say at the beginning of the fiscal year next year in January, all of the films for 20th Century Fox, they put out a budget for 25 billion to make all of the shows and films. And at the end of the year, they don't have enough scripts or enough TV shows to clear the budget, meaning to spend all the money. They don't have enough programming. They're going to just pick some bullshit that's garbage and just put that money in that shit. And if it doesn't make any money, they'll write it off as a loss. How do you think these fucking companies? Perfect example. Batgirl is a great motherfucking example. Never happened. Alicia Silverstone was supposed to play Batgirl originally. Now, let's talk about that shit. Let's go back in time and talk about Batman real quick. The original Batman was Michael Keaton. He played in 2 films. He didn't want to do that anymore because he felt like he'd be typecast. So he was cool. So what do? They go to Val Kilmer. Not only do they go to Val Kilmer, they change directors. They go from They go from what's old boy's name who did Edward Scissorhands? God damn it, what is his fucking name? Tim Burton. They go from Tim Burton, the first 2 films. Tim Burton wanted Michael Keaton to play. Michael Keaton was like, I want this amount or I can't do it because I don't want to be typecast. So they were like, no. And so Burton and Keaton pulls out and they get Joel Schumacher. Joel Schumacher, no disrespect, Mr. Schumacher. I actually know an actress that I was dating at the time. I was dating her. I'm not going to say her name because I don't want her to sue me or say some shit. We was getting it in too back in the day, goddammit. When I lived in North Hollywood, yeah. And if you ever see this, you know who I'm talking about. I'll just say this. She's an actress and she was in a movie called The Abyss. And that's about aliens under the water. There was only one black actress in that film, and yeah, I was with her. There's no doubt about it. And she was in both Joel Schumacher Batman films. One being Val Kilmer being in one, and when they introduced Chris O'Donnell as Robin, and the second one being George Clooney when they introduced Alicia Silverstone as Batgirl, and Chris O'Donnell again once reprised his role as Robin. And that was when they cast old girl from Kill Bill, I can't think of her name right now, playing Poison Ivy, and Arnold Schwarzenegger playing Mr. Freeze. When I heard about that casting, him being Mr. Freeze, I thought that was really dope. Oh yeah, we don't want to talk about that, bro. I don't, at least. The 1979 Avengers film. Come on, man. Come on. Come on, dog. Anybody that goes and searches that, if you want to go crazy and go that far back, what about the fucking 1977 Fantastic Four film, bro? Come on. Look, nobody knows about these movies. These movies that were made. Do you know they made a TV show, a TV film movie? As CBS made a movie about Doctor Strange. They had a movie on CBS about Doctor Strange, which actually turned out to be a pretty good fucking movie. I was shocked, and it came out on Halloween back in the 70s when I was a kid. I actually got vertigo for whatever reason. I got real sick and I had vertigo and was dizzy as fuck for whatever reason. But yeah, they had a Doctor Strange movie, and the guy who played Doctor Strange was great. some curly haired actor with a mustache. He played that shit perfect. If you want to Google that, Google the 1970. Yeah, the OG Doctor Strange movie was on CBS. It was a CBS night, CBS Friday night movie or Saturday night, whatever it was. Back in the day, TV was so great back in the day because that's all we had was television. It wasn't no internet or none of that shit. So everything came on television. So, that particular movie was so fucking good. The girl who was in that played his enemy or the villain in that movie was spectacular. She was, I forget the actress name, but she was so fucking dope in that. That was such a great TV film. And Doctor Strange was born. I was a real avid comic book reader at the time as a kid. So when that came out, I was freaking. I was like, man, I got Doctor Strange. I was going crazy. So I watched it, and it was dope as fuck to me. And I used to like, and I got a short on my YouTube channel right now, Corner Store Television YouTube channel about the 1970s Spider-Man TV show too. Kim Fields' mother, Chip Fields, was in it, and I love the actor who played Peter Parker and Spider-Man as well. And that TV show, but they made Spider-Man look like a complete buffoon in that show. I mean, the way they had him moving around like he was a real spider, going like this, doing all that movements and shit. It was dumb as hell. That part of it I didn't like. But Spider Man, it was Spider Man, a live action Spider Man. I mean, you're gonna like that shit. But the OG Doctor Strange movie on CBS, that shit was great. It was very underrated. Actually, I remember TV Guide reading a story in TV Guide back then about that the movie. It was a good movie, but a lot of kids were scared and parents were kind of mad that they put because it was dark. It was a really dark movie. Um, I don't want to talk about the Japan Spider Man, bro. I mean, you bringing up stuff now that's just like, come on. I mean, you digging deep, man. Nobody is in your bag like you are, bro. And I mean, you bringing this stuff up, trying to. I don't know. I ain't trying to say nothing. You already know what's up with me and you. The love between you and I is just crazy. But don't bring up that stuff because all you're gonna do is confuse people. And that Japanese Spider Man shit was trash anyway to me. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know. Oh shit, bro. I mean, damn. That hey, you be coming up with them, bro. I swear you be coming up with them. I swear to God. But yeah, that Fantastic Four movie back in the day, and also they had a lot of people don't know that David Hasselhoff played in a film about Nick Fury. He was the original Nick Fury in a movie. In a movie, he was the original Nick Fury in a movie. Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of people don't know that Nick Fury originally in the comic books is not a black man. He's not, and not a bald-headed black man. Nick Fury had hair like Reed Richards. He had the black hair with the white streaks on the side. He looked just like Reed Richards. There was a lot of characters in Marvel that were drawn very similarly for whatever reason. If you know Doctor Strange, he has black hair with the white streaks on the side. Reed Richards, black hair with the white streak on the side. The original Nick Fury, brown hair with the white streaks on the side. I don't know what that symbolizes. And another thing, if you remember Rogue had straight brown hair until she touched who was it that she touched and made her hair white? Somebody she touched and it turned her hair white. That was another thing. There was something about Marvel and having white streaks or a white pattern in the character's hair that was just I don't know what it was with Stan Lee and his artists. They would put that in a lot of people's characteristics. It's just it's I don't know. It was a big deal. To me, the characters that they choose these days for these superheroes aren't the best characters. The Avengers are a cool team. They're cool, but they're better teams than the Avengers that could be in these movies. They fucked up the Defenders on the Disney Plus show. That's not the Defenders. Mm-mm. Nope. If they put the Defenders team together, Wonder Man the black dude that you mentioned earlier, he's a Defender. Wonder Man was on the Defenders. He was on the Avengers too for a time, but the Defenders, man, there's so many characters Marvel. There's so many characters Marvel have to go to if they needed to. So many, dude. Goddamn. I could be talking about this till I'm blue in the face. I'm already in an hour. It's 3 p.m. here on the West Coast. Um, I started this a little before 2 o'clock. I had a lot of running around to do, and I actually was going to do a live stream from the location I was at, and decided against it because my equipment or my phone, the one I'm talking to you on now, wasn't charged, and the other one was charged, but I just didn't. I don't know. I just went regular like this right now. Just make it real comfortable. It's not like I got a guest or anything like that. Matter of fact, on the 22nd of this month, which is next week, yeah, next week's I think. I'm supposed to have a guest on, Christina, on the Corner Store podcast, the woman who engineered my EP. I'm planning on making a trip down to San Diego to do mood music. For those who are interested in knowing, I'm doing another album. I'm planning on doing an album each month all the way up until September, the month of my birthday, I'm either going to release the collaboration album or I'm going to release a album called Changeling. Now, Changeling came about because my birthday, I'll be 60 years old on September 4th of this year. And the albums that I've started creating up until that point was this month, just past April. Soul Searching was released. I'm planning on releasing this month Mood Music. Next month in June, was it April, May, June, I'm going to release OG Vibe Volume 1. In July, I'm going to release OG Vibe Volume 2. In August, I'm going to release maybe the collaboration. This is a EP I want to do with a lot of people that I've met, not only in LA that rap, but also some of my subscribers as well as members. One of them should be right here on the live right now. Mr. Sincere Austin. I'm gonna be doing a song and sending him the song so he could place his verse on it. And there's another hip hop artist from Baltimore, Maryland, by the name of Black Rome. I want to send one to Black Anova too in Harlem. I want to send one to Harlem Life. There's a bunch of people. Max Vision, rapper here in San Diego. I'm going to do a song with him. If my son can get back from on another outing or another liberty from the Navy, I'd like to do a song with him. So I don't know if the collaboration is going to actually happen. That's probably going to be the hardest one I create. And then in September, during my birthday month, I want to do an EP called Changeling because at 60 years old, I am not the same person I've been. And hopefully, I'm going to be evolving even into something greater. It's not a hopefully, for sure, I'm going to evolve into something even more greater. By then, I'll have a lot of music. We're talking Soul Searching, Mood Music, OG 1 and 2, a collaboration. That's 6 albums in 6 months. So I'm planning on doing that. That's something I want to do. If anybody, starting today, not tomorrow, not the next day, yesterday, if you'd like to contribute to not only Corner Store Television, which you can do right now with a super chat or a gift or anything, you can always go to my community page on the channel. It's real easy. You just go to the channel. It says community page, hit it. You'll see there's ways that you can send donations to the channel to help me not only do these projects and also be able to travel to these different cities and go to different locations to do live streams so you can see a lot of parts of California. I want to go back up to Santa Barbara, Ventura, so you can see that beautiful part of California, as well as go back down to San Diego. I want to head up to Sacramento and hang out with Sac Juggalo, dude from Sacramento, real great dude. Also try to see if he could do a song on a collaboration. He's a hip hop artist. So I have a lot of things in the works. If you'd like to give to the channel, please, by all means, go to my community page. My nephew is on the live chat right now. If he's still here, could you please put my email, cornerstoretelevision@gmail.com, as well as my Cash App on here for me, Chris, so people can donate to the channel, and so I can get a lot of this stuff off, man. I would really appreciate it. It would just be such a blessing and such a godsend from anyone to also subscribe to the channel just by hitting the subscription, just hitting it. And that means you're with me. And if you'd like to become a member, memberships are very affordable. It's very affordable. I made my stuff very affordable, and people can join and become members. I'm going to start having a lot more members only content, uh, where it's only members allowed. And I really appreciate if you guys jumped on board. The huge thing also too is to hit that like button. Hit that like button. My Cash App is $ DEX300, $DEX300. My PayPal is at DEX300, DEX300. And my Venmo is at DEX30066, at DEX30066. And you can always email me if if you want to know any of these things. You can email me, cornerstoretelevision@gmail.com. That starts with the letter K, KORNERSTORE, television at gmail.com. That is cornerstoretelevision@gmail.com. It would be greatly, greatly appreciated if you help me out. I got a lot of stuff coming under the works. Christina will be on Corner Store Television next week on the 22nd. Corner Store Podcast is every Tuesday and Thursday. Any of my other content is squeezed in around any of that times. Me and my homeboy Best, who is located in Nantes, France, will be having the Corner Store International podcast real soon. I just got to get with him. We got to get our T's crossed and our I's dotted so we can schedule something. And y'all keep rocking with your boy, man. Keep rocking with your boy. I got a lot of stuff. I got a lot in store. I'm changing and we trying to do some new things. I got a new content show called Scary Weird Stories. A lot of scary, weird stories. Don't listen to that shit by yourself. Hopefully you'll be in the bed with your girl holding onto her nipple and kissing on her neck, listening and trembling as you listen to some of these scary stories that I got in store. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Have a good day today. I'm hungry as hell. Stomach hurting. I got to go get something to eat, man. Damn. Y'all have a good day. Remember, get at your boy, man. Help your boy out. Let's get this shit cracking. Let me get this goddamn television network going so you guys can start watching Corner Store TV on the big screen on your TV, just like you do when you watch me on YouTube. It's your boy OMD Dex 300. Thank y'all all for being in the live chat. Shout out to y'all. Y'all stay good, stay blessed, and I'll holler at you. Peace.